welcome back to one of my favorite types of videos to create, my old art tour, part 3. Just some quick housekeeping things first. You might have noticed the name of the channel has changed. Don't get scared, I just wanted to use a different name. That's it. It's really not that deep. Just wanted to draw attention to it so you didn't think I was an imposter, because I guess we're in Among Us now. Moving on. If I said in part 2 that we were going to get into my old Pokemon art in this part, I'm a giant liar. I greatly underestimated how much ridiculous Sonic art is haunting my past. So for those that are worried I won't be able to make much more of these videos, don't worry. There's so much to discover in my old DeviantArt storage. I do, however, have a fun treat, because now we'll start to feature art of new OCs and not just Lemon Square. But don't worry, for you 2 Lemon Square stands worldwide, there's a couple of award-winning pictures of her in here still. Enough of my stalling, let's get that old art on the screen. I don't know what I'm looking at. I seriously don't know what this is. Was I okay as a child? Because if I had a kid and saw them drawing this, I'd be so concerned, dude. This was drawn January 30th of 2011, and this character's name was, quote, Jenna the Rainbow Gothic Rabbit. I'm pretty sure the rainbow part defeats the gothic part, but also I'm not a goth, so I wouldn't know. Clearly I'm not a goth. I do want to say I didn't design or name this character, she was given to me like this, so this design isn't my fault. But I did draw this, so I guess I have to take blame for that. I remember this title of this on DeviantArt being like Rainbow Breakdown or something, and I'm like, what does that mean? That leaves me with more questions than answers. Like, okay, look, I deal with a lot of anxiety, and I'm not a stranger to a mental breakdown every now and again, but I have to say, that usually doesn't involve being chained to the black void while 5 perfectly placed spotlights shine down on me, but for some reason my face is still completely blacked out. No, like, seriously, why are the spotlights? I'm also kind of obsessed with how her feet are like 2 completely different shapes. Girl might need a podiatrist. I think the best part about this is I can guarantee you that middle school me definitely thought she did something with this one. And she did. The thing is bad. If you watched the first 2 parts of the series, you might have remembered a pattern I talked about. The pattern being, for some reason, I was obsessed with giving every picture a dark background. Either that or none of my OCs paid their light bills. Nevertheless, the trunk comes back here with a vengeance. So this is Citrus the Rabbit, and if you don't know him, I highly recommend you watch parts 1 and 2, because he is definitely a character. You could call him a character that I made. And here he is with 2 swords, because who knows? I don't know. This artist is as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. This picture was based off the song Creeps from the Deep, which is from the Bionicle movie or something. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, your homework is to go listen to it. I think the concept I had in my head was he was supposed to be fighting his way out of this dark maze with nightmare monsters or something like that, which would have been kind of cool, but here we have him with 2 extremely brittle-looking swords being surrounded by ominous orbs of light. I like how the pose looks like he's supposed to be twisting his body like he's in the middle of some kind of action sequence, and yet his body is completely stiff. To be fair to him, it must have been hard to move when you have 2 literal rocks for feet. The ears also being 2 different completely sizes is really doing it for me here. Oh, I completely forgot to mention this was drawn December 11th, 2010, so about a month before the first one. Clearly that month was full of weird dark pictures where my OCs were forced to fight for their lives. Just a typical winter around here. Alright, here's a quick palette cleanser from that mayhem. But we're still in the dark, so don't get that excited. I guess this darkness has a purpose, though. It's supposed to be a night sky. You can tell based on the few obvious Photoshop default brush stars that are around. But you know what? I digress. This was drawn October 17, 2010, so before that weird gauntlet of nightmares I was inflicting on my OCs. And this girl's name was Serena the Fox Plant Cedrian, even though she looks more like a cat to me, I think. And those extremely well-drawn, hyper-realistic wings were not a part of her actual design, and it was just my genius style choice for this particular picture. I also don't remember her having much of a personality or even a story, besides she was just positive and upbeat and friendly. But you know what? For a 2010 OC, that's good enough. This drawing is specifically really funny to me because I drew this exact same picture 3 times. 3 times I did the concept of a character with angel wings facing the camera flying upwards into the sky. And you know what? It's a good concept. I encourage you to try it once. Okay, you know what? The shading is bad, the wings are awful, her hair looks like she stuck 3 blades of grass to her head. But it's kinda cute. Like, it's not good, but it's cute. At least she's not miserable and crying or chained to the wall or having to fight for her life, so you know what? This one gets a pass. Great job, Pass Me. And we're back! This is a lot. Like, I'm having a hard time looking at this without wanting to cringe out of my skin and assume a new identity. This was drawn on November 23rd, 2010 to the song What Hurts the Most, and you can tell because I just slapped some lyrics of the song on the left of the picture in this ridiculously hard to read font color. Once again, we're sporting the classic black background because I just don't seem to know what colors are. And this picture is lineless, which is a thing I did once in a while. But I can just tell I did it with a soft brush because he looks out of focus and messy and bad. He just looks bad. If I were in this photo, I'd also be sadly looking to the vague right. Really love how I didn't even bother staying in the imaginary lines while coloring his left ear too. Like, we're just out there right now. The character's name is Zach, and I actually talk about him a lot in a video I will put in the cards, so you can learn all about his masterfully written character. Just know, though, that not only did this song not fit him whatsoever, but I remember throwing a temper tantrum in the description of this picture on DeviantArt because I wished I didn't draw Zach for this. Like, I'm not sure if I was aware I had the power to draw a different character, but life's hard, girl, I get it. I also remember saying in the description how I was pissed off that my parents made fun of this art, apparently, and while it's terrible for a parent to mock their child's art, you know what? I'd also make fun of this. There's one good thing about this picture, though. It's so goddamn blurry I can actually hardly see it. So that's pretty great. I'm gonna take this off the screen now because I hate it. I told you there'd be some lemon square with this, and here she is! And this is an extra special picture. Can you tell why? Because the background isn't black! Woohoo! Round of applause! I learned what colors are! Except this was drawn August 17th, 2010, so it came before the other ones. So maybe I learned, but then I forgot. This is another nice little palette cleanser kind of deal after the last one. Is it good? No. But it's kind of cute, right? I remember being so proud of this when I drew it for some reason. I mean, like, her ears look like they're the same size for once. But then we also have the problem of her legs being weirdly glued onto her dress, and that blush thing looking like weird pink tears. And also the background is ugly with those gradient colors and that extremely hard to see pink Photoshop default rose brush. But if we can get past all that, it's cute. Look, she's smiling, she's happy, and the background isn't black. The bar is extremely low here. Alright, let's say goodbye to Lemon Square for now, but spoiler alert, she'll show up a couple more times before this video is over. So I said lineless art was a thing I did sometimes, and on December 2nd, 2010, I did it again. And you know what? I'd love to talk about this picture, but I literally can't see what's happening because we're back to black backgrounds and horrible lighting. This character was another one I was given, so I didn't design her. So I won't roast the design, but I do wish I changed that bright blue muzzle. It's just not it. Her name, however, is literal gold. Her name was Ginny Ursula Rachel Lynn, so her initials spelled out G-U-R-L, girl. Like, come on, that's so funny. I didn't even come up with that either, but like, I wish I did. So, I literally cannot see this damn picture. I guess she's excitedly punching the air for some reason while standing in the dark as a horrible red light shines on her while she's already red. Like, maybe she's excited and celebrating about being able to pay her light bill enough to even get the red light. After all, with these dark pictures, I'd get it. I have no idea why on this God's green earth I would choose a red light effect to put on her while the majority of this character's red. I mean, look at that big red blob on the right. It just became a giant red mass because she's already red. I just made this poor girl look like world's biggest pimple. Sorry for that mental image, but someone had to say it. I mean, like, I guess the lineless coloring looks better than the one I did as Zach. I mean, it's neater, I think. This could also just be due to the fact that I can't see it. Great techniques, younger me. They can't see how bad your art is if they can't see it at all. Someone put that on a shirt. Told you Lemon would be back. And my god, what a reappearance she's making in this one. This was drawn September 15th, 2010, and it's definitely a picture I'm looking at. Kinda wish I weren't. Here we go. Not quite sure where to start with this. Well, the pink rabbit girl on the top is named Claire, and her thing used to be she was in love with Lemon Square's boyfriend at the time and wanted to date him, but he was with Lemon, so she hated Lemon, but she also hated the boyfriend, I think. Girl, I don't know. I remade this character later on, and she's a lesbian now, so you know what? She's better. But anyway, you'll notice more song lyrics on the left. You'll notice that's not how you write 5'5". And you'll also notice Cadillac is spelled wrong. And you'll notice how I thought I was being so cheeky crossing out the word brown from the lyrics and replacing it with pink because Claire's hair is pink. The song is called When It Was Me. I'm not too sure who the original artist is, but I was listening to the DJ Booney remix, so go look that up if you want an experience. This is just really, really funny. I was clearly trying to portray Claire as this beautiful bombshell who is so perfect and everyone wants her and that's why she's so happy and the background is pink with butterflies because she's so perfect and Lemon is jealous, I guess, which is why it's raining and her eyes are blacked out. Bro, I didn't make her look upset, I made her look scary. Also love how despite her face being completely blacked out, we can still see Lemon's tears. Dude, like, I don't know if she's supposed to be heartbroken or she's ready to kill Claire. Like, anything could happen from here. Did I also mention that this looks really bad? Because, like, yeah, it's not great. Moving on. Feel better soon, I guess, Lemon. If I had a nickel for every character I drew upset in some void background with Japanese lyrics plastered on the picture, I'd only have 2 nickels, but it's still weird that it happened twice. Anyway, this was drawn December 27th, 2010, so happy almost 2011, everybody. This character's name was Phrase the Cat, and her story was she was, like, in love with her best friend Alice, but when she told Alice, she got rejected. But later on, Alice was supposed to realize she liked her too, because surprise, she's also gay. But then there was drama with Alice's older sister, and dude, I don't know, I was just trying to my best to make some K-drama. So now we have Phrase upset in the dark. Maybe she purposely turned off the lights to be real moody about it. You may be wondering, what are those Japanese words on the picture? Well, my friend, they're lyrics from the Paradise Kiss OP, Lonely and Gorgeous. Keep in mind, this was drawn in 2010, but I didn't actually watch Paradise Kiss until this past Easter weekend. So that's kind of funny. Lonely and Gorgeous is a real bop, though. We have another attempt at lineless here, and while I can actually see this one despite how dark it is, it's still blurry and out of focus. Kind of love how her ears are just like sadly glued onto her head and how her tail is just some limp noodle flopped in front of her legs. I think she's supposed to be kneeling. Either that or she's crying because I amputated 2 of her limbs. Could be anything, really. Also love how the tears are just like these obnoxious blue blobs on her face. If you cry like that, maybe see a doctor because I don't think that's normal. Anyway, bye, Phrase. It was nice seeing you. The background is dark on this, but it's not plain black. So, like, I think it's an improvement, right? Then again, we can see the grass is the default Photoshop brush, and the trees are just extremely shittily airbrushed lines, so, maybe it doesn't count, actually. Spoiler alert, this is the last Lemon Square piece in this video, but, like, you know, don't think that's entirely a bad thing. This was drawn on August 15th, 2010, and now looking at this, I have a few questions. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why is she glowing? I feel like a lot of my old art, I've been able to explain some of my thought process behind it, but like, with this one, I'm just as confused as you are. I have no idea what's going on. It's probably something like, oh, the tears are magical and I don't know, it's gonna bring Angela Chan back from the dead, but I don't know. She could just be glowing because fuck it. The fact that she's randomly in a forest at night to cry is definitely cinematic, but not as cinematic as whatever is going on with her hand and arm. I also really love that super harsh cowlick. It looks like a handle. It looks like I can just grab her by the cowlick and carry her around like she's a purse. Like, why does it look like that? I also mentioned a second ago, but that like hyper-realistic Photoshop grass brush just looks so funny next to those trees that are just brown lines. It looks like she's on a set or something. But at least the background isn't just black, I guess. Again, the bar is on the ground here. What was my obsession with drawing my characters in not only dark backgrounds, but also crying? This is the 4th one I have in this video. I might as well call this Old Art Tour Part 3, the part where everyone is crying. This character's name was Shannon the Tropical Bunny, and I guess she is tropical because her ears are neon green. Why are her ears neon green? Actually, this picture is really funny because I specifically remember someone commenting saying that the blue spot that was just her fur looked like a black eye. I'm like, honestly, that's super funny. Because they're right. It looks like my girl just got punched right in her eye. I'm also wondering what her hands are supposed to be doing. Like, I can't explain why they look like that. Like, they almost just look like boxing gloves. And I'm perplexed by the fact that those dark clouds are in frame, but there's rain, like, on top of them. Someone get this girl to a science class because she doesn't know how rain works. Also, the rain looks good because it's a brush. I didn't do that. Don't give me credit for that. My last thing is also, why is she backlit? Where is the light source? Everything is so dark except for the hidden spotlight placed directly behind her for some reason. It's all about the drama for 2010 me, it seems. This was drawn August 5th, 2010, which means it was drawn 10 days before the last one. Queen of recycling ideas. I thought we should end off on a picture that didn't have a black background. So Rabbit Girl sitting in the random Photoshop gradient effects it is. This girl's name was Future. I say was because it's Jinx now. Here's what she looks like in the present day. Ooh, look at the improvement. Okay, back to the past where we're going back to July 20th, 2010. I remember being really obsessed with this character and like, I don't know why. Like I was obsessed with the design when she's just black and pink cream with pants and an earring and a little tear in her ear. Great! She was super mean and still is because I like girls that are mean. She had psychic powers and also a half-brother. Now it's a half-sister. She has an actual character and good design now, so breathe if you want me to make a video talking about her. Wait, why are you turning blue in the face? Okay, but jokes aside, it's not the worst thing out there. Maybe because I showed all the worst ones first, so this one is almost cute in comparison. It's kind of creeping me out, though, how her eyes are like 2 different shapes, though. And that's it for my Old Art Tour Part 3. Again, I really love making these videos just because they're really fun to make. Like, even if no one's watching them, I would still be making them. And I would watch them. No, I wouldn't. That sounds really depressing, but also creepy. But alright, thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, why? Why did you want to see all that old art? But if you wanted to, if you could like and subscribe for some reason, that'd be awesome. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys!